Much for your time and good morning to you.
Good morning, Sena. Thank you too for having me.
I think in our places, I would say Abu Dhabi. I've been trying to.
Check him. Yema boy, want to anyaba, anyagaya to me. Malaysia.
Well, let's start first with you've been at the forefront of this so much so that some people think you have vanished from the country. Give us an idea the extent of damage that has been caused within your constituency.
Sena, good morning to you. Good morning to your panel, your team, and to all listeners of Radio God. To be honest with you, Sena, I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. I've been talking to elders, talking to senior citizens. They've never seen anything like this. The level of devastation. I mean, we hear some people say that, oh, but don't they spill every year? Are they not used to this? No, please. We have never seen anything of this nature, not on this scale. Yes, every now and then the VRA will spill. They will discharge water, excess water from the dam, the Akosombo Dam and the Pond Dam. But never in our lifetime have we seen spilling on this scale. As I speak to you, Sena, entire villages have been wiped out. Entire villages. I'm willing to take your team around. Entire villages.
As in, there is no place left in that village.
No place, no house left. No house left. No building left.
Wow.
Everything is gone. There are some villages that you just find one or half a property. Remember that a lot of these villages still use the mud house, thatch roof, the traditional, architecture. And what these building materials cannot stand is water, particularly when the water rises to a certain level and remains at that level for some time. Everything collapses. So entire villages. You know how big Mafa is. Mafa is a sprawling town. Some even call it a city. Lots of buildings. Can you believe that about 70% of Mafa is all underwater as I speak to you?
70%?
Yes, 70%. All underwater as I speak to you. Currently, if you come to me and you say you want to visit my NDC constituency chairman, who lives in Mapa, hails from Mapa, we will have to go on a boat. You cannot drive to his house. I have to put you on a boat and ferry you there. If you want to go to the education office in Mafa, I would have to ferry you, not on river or man-made lake, but the effect of this spilling that has been done by the VRA. So the level of destruction, the level of decimation, the level of devastation is unimaginable. It's on biblical proportions, on a scale that we have never seen. It's as if, you are reading Noah's story again, the destruction of the earth with water, and God asking Noah to prepare an ark and saving only Noah. It's that kind of situation. It's really terrible. As I speak to you, Sena, the camps have increased from 3 camps initially. We now have 19 camps.
19 for the entire constituency?
Yes, 19. Only one constituency, only North Tongu, 19 camps, humanitarian camps.
19 camps.
Yes. And only this morning, I've just received a call. I haven't added that because I'll be rushing there to go and verify. I just received a call that those at Volukome, the water has now gotten there as well. So they have all had to run, and they have formed their own camp on the outskirts of Volu. So if that is confirmed...
So initially it had not gotten to Volukome?
No, it had not gotten to Volukome.
Okay, so it just got there.
If that report I received is accurate, but I want to get there first, I should be there in about an hour. If I get there and it's confirmed, it's not that they are not part of the original 19, then it will mean that we now have 20. And that's how these camps have been emerging. Because, for example, 3 nights ago when I went to the new camps at Fujoku, it did not exist about 5 days ago. But the people at Alabonu, the people at Klamadaboy had all now been affected, and they had to be whisked to safety. And Fujoku Township hasn't been affected yet. And I emphasize yet, because they are also very close to the Bond Dam. And it appears it's just a matter of time if the spilling continues at this rate. So, Fujoku has been added. Then Dofwadidoma, which was not affected about 5 days ago, has also now been affected, and they've been added. So the camps are increasing. And that is why, Sena, yesterday we launched a very important intervention, what we call in the MP's Mobile Relief Caravan. So this relief caravan is simply relief items which we have managed to mobilize, truckloads of relief items, bags of rice, bags of sugar, bags of maize, oil, cooking oil, mackerel, mosquito nets, detergents, sanitary towels, light jackets, blankets, you name them. So we have a distribution system that we want to assure the good people of Ghana that when you bring your items, they can immediately be distributed across the camps. So we demonstrated that to the media yesterday. We had the items in record time distributed to the 19 camps that have been established. We want the good people of this country to be assured that every item that is brought will go directly to the people. There are no holding places. There will be no diversion. It's not going to anybody's house. We have established an efficient distribution system. So the items will go straight to the camps and the people will benefit directly. I must also emphasize that I've spoken to the Ghana Medical Association, and we have forged a very beautiful partnership, because many people are looking at the current devastation, but only looking at the displaced people and how lots of properties have been lost. Yes, that is important. We have to look at that, and we are going to insist that VRA compensates all of these people. All their victims must be compensated. We will insist, and we will demand a parliamentary inquiry into their conduct. So those matters are important. But you see, Sena, you know this terrain very well. You're a town man yourself. And you know that the water has risen to heights unseen before. And in that process, the water is so contaminated now because the water has entered into all kinds of arenas that it shouldn't go to. You know that the water has entered cemeteries, covered cemeteries, entered mortuaries, covered mortuaries, entered sewage systems, it has entered refuse dams, landing sites, it has entered public toilets. So, sorry for spoiling your breakfast this morning, but the situation is dire. And if care is not taken, what we'll be grappling with soon will be a public health emergency where we will have to be dealing with an outbreak of cholera, of typhoid, and what have you. So I'm glad that this morning I'm receiving 7 doctors from the Ghana Medical Association. We're going to go around the camps, and we've also received a number of medicines. I asked the health director to put together the medications that they need. We also went around the camps. A lot of the elders, senior citizens, left their medications behind, which have been washed away, and we'll be replacing all those medications as well. So with this partnership, we'll be seeking to forestall this looming public health crisis. And I do hope that the Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health will be thinking about this and finding out how, on a larger scale, they can come and intervene and help our people. But this is something we must keep an eye on. And I'm also glad that as part of the team, we have a clinical psychologist who will be helping our people, particularly those who are traumatized, to begin to regain their mental health and their proper psychological well-being. So these are the interventions we are carrying out. And Sena, you can imagine, it's been very, very tedious. It's been tiring. But what gives us hope is the tenacity of our people, their resilience, and how they appreciate the interventions that we are all making. And I must commend you in the media, Radio Gold in particular. You have devoted tremendous airtime to this crisis. I have received calls from people who have said that they listen to your accounts on Radio Gold and have decided to make a donation. So if this morning we are going to be receiving the Ghana Tankers Association, it's because of programs like yours. The Christian Council has also called that they are on their way to make a donation of relief items. Then we have received a call from the Catholics who are also mobilizing. We've received a call from the Church of the Latter-day Saints, who have also called us that their humanitarian department has decided to support us. So the coverage that you are giving this crisis is yielding the results. And a lot of your listeners have also called us. Some just received a text message. Somebody is bringing in mattresses because we are listening to you. So they say that they are bringing it to the camps. And we want to thank all of you and thank all those who are donating, who are talking to the organizations to come to our aid. It is deeply, deeply appreciated. That really should be the spirit. And this is what leads me to talk about the president's visit yesterday.
And I'll come back to that. But I'm also wondering how you are delivering these relief items, judging from the fact that you're saying some of the areas have been cut off. You have to go by boat. How are you handling transportation in general?
Sena, that is a very important question. Transportation has now become a nightmare. For those who have not been here before and will want a pictorial appreciation. So the Volta River divides my constituency virtually into two equal parts. So Aveime Batomefe is on the west bank of the river. Then Joapon, the famous Joapon, Volu, Togoma, Fojoku, that side, that Joapon side, is on the east bank of the river. Tagaji, Podoi, those communities on the East Bank. So the Volta River divides the constituency into two. Now, because of this spillage, hitherto you can drive either through Asuchari or through Dover, Sugakova, Didome. And we constructed under President Mahama the Japon Volu Mafia Didome Road. That road has now been cut off because the bridge, the Tigo River has overflown its banks. The bridge has been submerged. So as we speak, it is not possible to just drive around and get to those parts of the constituency. Either you have to go through Ho Adaklu, or you go back to Accra, Tama, and then use the Akosombo Road. The only option is to risk travel on the high river. So we have a few divers and very good swimmers who are helping us because it will be too stressful, 2 hours, 3 hours to go around Accra. And so those divers are helping us on the boats to catch the items. And that's what we are also using sometimes. Fortunately, we have secured adequate life jackets. And we tell our people that no matter how good you are at diving, we know that Tong people are great swimmers. Still wear the life jackets so that if there's any emergency, because the water is really rough. If you look at the current of the water, it's very, very, very strong. So that is how we are managing transportation. It's not been easy at all. Many parts have been cut off. The Alabo River has also overflown its banks, so they have been cut off. Island communities, like I've just told you about Volukoma, there's Dofokoma, they've all been cut off. And it's a nightmare. It's a real nightmare. The people of Vume, for example, who are also at Bato Togodo, they have been totally cut off. I'm going to be hanging out with them at 4 p.m. today to engage them and to see how they are coping. I'll be bringing the doctors there. It's a real nightmare, Sana, and it's not been easy at all.
Has it been difficult convincing some people to leave their houses? Because like you said, I know the typical Tong person is not afraid of a river or water in their homes. Do you still have some people who insist on living in the houses or going back to those houses?
Yes, everybody has an attachment to where they love to live and where they call home. So it's not easy. It's not easy abandoning all you have worked for all your life to build. So it's not easy. But let me be honest that they having witnessed at first hand the level of destruction and having seen what has happened elsewhere in other communities, they have decided to manage those attachments and have been complying, have been moving out. So yes, these are not easy decisions. It's not easy for anybody to just leave everything you have worked for. And some of them had to just run out without salvaging anything. I mean, just think about it. Not a mobile phone, not a television, not a computer, not your certificates, not your Ghana card. Nothing. Some even lost money, because there's a lot of, you do know that these days confidence in the banking system is gone. So many people were keeping money at home. All of that is gone. So it's a very traumatic time for my constituents.
And I'm also wondering whether there's a particular town that is not being taken over yet, which you're worried about in case the spillage continue. Because this morning we're talking to Tobega Patamia, who was concerned about even Bato, where you live yourself, because he says Bato virtually has the same type of situation as Mepe, where you have streams going through town, and those streams take their source from the river. And so if it continues, there might be flooding in Bato. Are there communities like that which you're thinking about? What happens if this continues?
Yes, yes, yes. My paramount chief is right. And yes, I mean, I'll tell you what we may call an interesting story, but it's tragic. So we had moved the people of Siko to Agbetipo, which is a designated safe haven because it's higher ground. And we got the Japanese embassy to build a nice school there. And the people thought they were safe. Will you believe that the water levels rose? And even Agbetipo, which we thought was higher ground, we had to do another evacuation. So that's what has been going on. You move people, and even the people of Mafa who were moved to San Kizito. At the time we were doing the movement, and I was part of the whole mobilization, helping with transportation, providing buses and all, only for us to move the people. And then the road to Mafa San Kizito also got drowned. So the people then were virtually cut off. So we've moved them to San Kizito, but going there, you have to use a boat. To use a road that a few minutes ago we used the buses. Now we can't use buses to get there. So there have been a lot of these stories, and Tobiga Patamia is absolutely spot on that no community now is immune. It's not clear if this constituency will be left, any part of it will be left if the VRA continues with this spilling. And I think that as a country, we have to be seriously thinking about an engineering solution. This is not sustainable. This level of devastation, this level of destruction, this level of trauma will not be countenanced in any country. We need to find an engineering solution where when you have excess water in times like this, yes, they say it happens once in a blue moon, but look, let's have an engineering solution so that if we have to spill, if we have to discharge excess water, that water is rerouted, rechanneled. It can even go into irrigation for agriculture. How many years have we been complaining about old farming methods that are not modernized, that are not irrigated, and all of that? When we have this water, we have this river. Look, elsewhere, countries are dying to own something like this. I mean, experts have said that the next war the next world war will likely be over water. Already you are seeing the conflicts going on over the Nile. So if we have this blessing over 500 miles stretch, and mind you, many people talk as oh, this is just a water crisis. This water river, it spans through many constituencies, many regions. As I speak to you, Ada is flooded. It's in the Greater Accra region, thanks to this same river and this same spilling going on. Esojaman in the Eastern region is flooded. Yesterday, I received calls from the Ashanti region. They are from Sechuafram Plains. It's flooded. Then Honorable Dr. Kwabena Donko's place, the Poo area, the Bono area. So this is a national disaster. Even though we are bearing the brunt or we are worse affected, fact of the matter is that we must see this within a national framework. And we must have an engineering solution which, addresses this matter, where we can rechannel the water, use it for irrigation farming. And it will be a win-win situation for everybody. We save people in the lower Volta Basin from going through all of this trauma, destruction, loss of properties, and we eventually will see VRA from monies for compensation, because we are going to insist that they must compensate their victims. And then we are also able to attain food security, modernize agriculture. So there's so many wins if we decide to opt for an engineering solution into this matter.
And let me conclude with you, because I know you said you have to be in one of those communities. So, one, what do you make of the president's visit? Did he bring so much for you? Because as an MP, I'm sure you would do with the help, a lot more help, the help of the central government. So the president's presence must be good news.
To be honest with you, Sena, many of our people criticize the president for his nonchalant attitude initially, not saying a word, ignoring this crisis. He was busily commenting on other international crises elsewhere, Israel and other places, standing with the people of Israel and not standing with his own people here in Ghana. So we acknowledge that he has finally come, that public pressure has worked. There are two reservations from this visit. The first one is his remarks. This is not a time to engage in petty politicking, cheap politicking. This is not a time to think about votes at all. I mean, where is our humanity? Where is decency? People are traumatized. People are suffering. People are displaced. People have lost everything. Everything. And all you think about is how they vote, their voting patterns. And then you tell them that even though you don't vote for me, I'll try to help. I'll try. I'll try. The president doesn't realize that he has an obligation. The reason why we pay taxes, he manages all our resources, is so he can address disasters of this nature. And it's an obligation. It's not about he trying. He's not doing anybody a favor. And why does the president think that people's contribution to national development is just about how they vote? What kind of mindset is that? You are addressing people who gave up their land for us to have Akosombo Dam, for us to have Pond Dam. Combined, about 80% of our entire electricity generation. These are heroes. Read Kwame Nkrumah's speech in 1965 when he was commissioning the Akosombo Dam. How he heaped praises on my people. How he celebrated them. As we speak, a lot of them have still not been compensated. And these people are just happy that they have contributed such a strategic national asset for our collective well-being. They don't even enjoy any incentive. They pay electricity bill like anybody who hasn't contributed land or anything. A lot of these communities, it's even recently that they were connected to the national grid. Recently that they had potable water under President Mahama. When I put together the list and went to lobby for them to be captured. I don't think we have even attained 100% coverage yet. We haven't attained 100% coverage yet.
Ghana's gold.
And gold. People who have made these contributions have contributed so much. We think his contribution is just about if you vote for MPP, then you are making contribution to national development. Is that the president's mindset? So, people who have sacrificed so much for Ghana, lost their lands, lost their livelihoods, and they are bearing the brunt for all of us. Does the president recognize that this spilling is being done to protect the dams, the Akosombo Dam, the on dams. And we are bearing the brunt so that all of us, the entire country, can have electricity. Industrialization can go on. Businesses can continue to thrive. Does the president recognize that? And is that how you speak to people who have made enormous sacrifices, who should even have been treated better with respect, who should not have been pounced upon, taken by surprise, dehumanized in the way that we have been? And instead of coming to apologize to us, coming to sympathize with us, you come and tell us that we don't even know how to vote on top. Incredible, unbelievable, despicable. And my second reservation, the president came and is making promises. Look, there's a reason why in Parliament, every budget that we approve in Parliament, there's a line item called the contingency fund. The contingency fund is for things like this, real emergencies, not for the National Cathedral, what they were hiding the contingency fund for. Real emergencies. Not a project that you plan, to just deceive God. Mm-hmm. We are talking about what is unplanned, what is unforeseen, a happenstance. That is what we are talking about. And that's why we approved the contingency fund. So why did the president come empty-handed yesterday? Why? Even me as a small MP, small, tiny, insignificant MP in my small corner, we've been able to mobilize truckloads of relief items, and we are doing this relief caravan. The president comes empty-handed, and he's only making promises.
He brought nothing?
So, nothing. You heard our chiefs. Talk to the media, your colleagues who came to cover. The chief said, look, they don't want any trouble. They don't want their people to come and attack them, that they've got a grand visit, the number one gentleman, the commander-in-chief, and they are holding the items. That they want to emphasize that the president brought nothing. He has only come to make promises. So when the promises are redeemed, the items will be distributed. So nobody should think that they met the president and they have received items and they have not shared the items. The Manklalo of Masa said this to the media, to the hearing of everybody. So, one is wondering, and if you add this conduct to the president's remarks, you ask yourself, the president really, does he recognize that this is a part of Ghana? We are all one people. We all have a common stake. We are all contributing to national development. So, look, honestly, Sena, so if you ask me in all sincerity, I don't expect much from this president. I don't expect anything at all. I should be frank with you, and we will continue to mobilize. Fortunately, there is tremendous goodwill. The Ghanaian people are rallying, and I believe in communal support. I believe we can help each other, and we can come out of this united and stronger as a people. There's so many people who, unlike the president, very much appreciate what is at stake and recognize that there is a humanitarian disaster which requires a common humanity. And they are rallying. I've told you about the Tankers Association who are on their way here. I've told you about the Catholic support, the Christian Council, and the many others on the way. So we will continue to do our best to rescue our people.
Having said that, if anybody wants to support, is there a number they can reach out to?
so that
we can share it?
Yes, please. Yes, please. There is a number. Let me give you that number. It is the number of our secretary who is on the ground.
Okay.
And is coordinating the relief effort. He's called Mr. Jesse Toku.
Okay.
The number is 024.
Okay.
567.
567.
3185.
3185.
Yes, please.
Jesse Toku.
Jesse Toku, yes. It's also a Momo number.
Okay.
And every contribution will be acknowledged, will be published for transparency's sake. And you can rest assured that everything is going directly. I am not receiving anything directly myself. Any delegation, any item that comes, we go straight to the camp and it goes directly to the people. We want to build confidence so that everybody, because there's no politics going on. We are not going to use items for campaign. We are not going to keep items for the campaign season. We are not. This is not about politics. People must survive now. We don't want people to die in the camps. So you come, we take you to the victims, and you support them directly. That is what we are doing.
Oh, thank you for speaking to us this morning. But before you go, is your house safe?
Quite. We're almost there. The water level is at the brink. I think another round of discharge, and it will also get drowned.
Wow.
Yeah. So we are almost there, but I don't think we'll be safe throughout because another round and we are down.
And then I think this is appropriate. Before, and Dr. Emmanuel Adipadipo is in studio with me. And the question that comes to mind immediately.
Oh, it's my good friend.
Yes, I know. I know. And I guess he will be interested, and a lot of people will be interested in. You are a member of parliament who on a good day is always worried about what happens to your people. Now, when something like this happens, the question that we all want to ask is, how are you doing? How are you? Because you're bringing clinical psychologists to cater to other people, but you are thinking about, how do I get this done? The devastation, when you saw it at first hand, the kind of mental impact it had on it has had on you. You trying to get around to find solutions to the problem. So how is Honorable?
I'm coping. I'm sure that I'll be fine. When everybody is fine and settled, we'll all be fine.
I anticipated that response. But we wish you all the best. We'll do all we can to support you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Most appreciated. And my regards to Dr. Adiko.
And also, Okudzeto Ablakwa is Member of Parliament for North Tongu constituency, joining us on the phone line. Doc is in studio.